Now I go down, I choose my customer Coca-Cola, and I go here to create and insert a new contract for Coca-Cola. This is the first page of a contract where you insert the general data of this contract. The name of the client is inserted automatically and you can change it. The number of the contract is created automatically, but you can change it if you want. You will insert a nickname for this contract. Remember, this is the nickname of the contract, not for the client. So the client is Coca-Cola, but this is a contract for 2018. Here we have some free fields to insert, for example, the number of your order form. If you have your list of order forms with a specific number and you want to search them into your archive. You have the stipulation date. The stipulation is automatically inserted with today's date, but you can change it. And you have the expiration date, for example, the end of this year. You have here some other information. Customer is if you want to send invoices not to directly to the client, but a customer. So the client is under the customer. The customer could be, for example, an agency. So you will pay the agency, but not directly Coca-Cola. The invoicing society is you, with all the data of your society. Here you have again the product category, and as I told you, if you insert the product category on the client, on the client scheduling, you will get it automatically also on your contracts. The zone, sale type, modality, and sale typology are some free fields connected to specific tables that can be customized, that can be used for statistics. They will not be used for scheduling, but just for statistics. We move to the second tab, that is agents and amounts here. Here you manage the agents and their commission. If you want to change again the commission for this specific contract, this agent will have a 35% commission, but only for this contract. You can manage more than one agent if you want to divide different commissions to different agents. Here you will insert what is the product sold, or what are the products, because you can have more than one product with different prices on the same contract. So on the same contract, we can have regular spots of 30 seconds, for example. You choose here the broadcaster, Radio 2, for example, because you can manage so many stations, as I told you. And we have a spot 30 seconds on Radio 2. And we have this spot 30 seconds only just on one area, because you can split your spots, your adverts on many different areas. And the price is 10 each spot. So we have the spots only on the first area, 30 seconds, regular spots, Radio 2, Area 1. But on this contract, we also have other spots on another radio, that is Radio 3, The typology is different. They are 10-second spots. They are on the area number 3. Purchased is 200 spots, and the spot price is 5 each one. So you see, you can manage different products with different prices on the same contract. Now we move to installments, where you manage the installments that will create the invoices. Normally, we use the installments on consumption. This means that the installments will be calculated on scheduling. So if you schedule in 1 month, for example, 100 spots, you will have an invoice for 100 spots. But you can also create specific installments to create specific invoices. For example, monthly. We want to have 3 different invoices, and the system will create 3 different invoices for the same price, that is the total amount of this and this, you see. And this is the total amount divided into 3 invoices. You can also manage to be defined invoices, where you set the number of your invoices. Here, to be defined. And the system will create empty installments, where you set the date of your invoice, for example, the end of this month, and the amount for this invoice. The system will create an invoice on this date for this amount. But as I told you, normally we use on consumption, so the system will create the installments automatically. We move to the next tab, that is Summarize. Here you have a, a scheme where you see how many spots, how many adverts were purchased, consumed, remained, scheduled, and remained again. Here in blue, you have the spots to be paid. In yellow, the spots free. And now we move to scheduling. Here you will schedule your adverts. You press F2 to create a new scheduling. You insert the subject, that is the name of your spot, Coca-Cola, for example. Here you insert the start date and the end date, or if you prefer, you can insert the start date and the number of days. For example, 30 days. You see that the end date will be modified automatically. If you want to exclude 1 or more days from your scheduling, specific days, you click here. And for example, I don't want to go on air on this day, that is December 11th. Then we can move here and record. As this is a RAMM for a video and radio station, that is VJ Pro, Visual Radio, we can choose if we are scheduling an audio file, or a video file. Now we are scheduling an audio file, so I choose the recorder, and then it should open the recorder, but maybe it is not installed here. If you choose select file for the video, it will open the Windows browser, where you can choose your file to be inserted. You can also make a media rotation because you can have so many different subjects for the same customer. For example, we have Coca-Cola, but this customer wants to play together in a rotation the spot, the subject Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Zero, for example. So we can choose, for example, asynchronous hour cyclic, and you see that we have one more tab. Fixed is without rotation, no tab here, and asynchronous hour cyclic, for example, will show you a new tab. If I go here on the new tab, I can insert another subject. The subject in general data is A. You see A here. The subject here on media is B. Pay attention to capital letters because we can create small letters and capital letters. I open the line with double click and I insert here the new subject. For example, Coca-Cola Zero. Here I can choose the category. I can exclude some hour points only for this subject and confirm. I come back to general data and with asynchronous hour cyclic rotation, I will have on the same day the subject A and B in rotation as A, B, A, B, A, B. But every day will start with a different letter. One day with A, one day with B. The acyclic is one day only subject A, one day only subject B. Fixed hour cyclic is AB, AB, but every day will start with A. Hour cyclic is AB, AB, but every day will start where it ended the day before. If you end the day with A, the next day will start with B. Manual, you can choose a specific rotation. For example, if you want the A to be played more than B, so we can have a rotation like this: A, B, A, A, B. So you see that A will be played more than B. Periodical is a specific period just for B. A is the main subject, but for a specific period from date to date, it will play the subject B. Then after the end of this period, it will start again to play just A. Periodical with basic media will make a rotation between A and B, but with the start and end date just for the subject B. So after the end date of the subject B, it will not rotate AB, AB, but will continue just with A. For this example, we will choose asynchronous hour cyclic. Here, you manage the spot type. The spot type is very important because here you can assign what on every hour point. Now I open the table with hour points. This is the table for every radio and every area. You can have specific hour points. If I open an hour point, I can decide here what can go inside this hour point. For example, this is an hour point, very special, just for sponsorship. I will check just sponsorship. Why I tell you that this is very important? Because here, if you choose sponsorship, it will allow you to schedule just on hour points allowed for sponsorship, and it will not insert the spot on the other hour points. If I choose regular spots, in italiano tabellare, you will have only the hour points allowed for regular spots. Here, you can decide if you are scheduling on Radio 2 or Radio 3, as if you remember, on this contract, we bought a spot for Radio 2 and Radio 3, but not for the other radio. I will decide to schedule on Radio 3. You see that the typology is changing because on Radio 3 I bought 10-second spots. On Radio 2 I bought 30-second spots. This is very important because after the scheduling, when the system will create the installments for the invoice, it will choose the right price for this product. As I told you, the product category is inserted automatically because it was inserted on the customer. You can decide the start time and end time. For example, Coca-Cola wants to be played just between 7 in the morning and 8 in the evening. You can decide here the priority inside the cluster, where 1 is the first, 10 is the last, and 5 is in the middle. If you have so many spots with 5, the system will rotate them. You also see some O, that means opening, and C, that means closing. And this is a specific rotation, specific priority dedicated to promos. So you can have some promos before the adverts, then the adverts with their rotation, and finally other promos, closing promos with their rotation. Now we don't have priority, so we choose 5, that is in the middle. The frequency means how many spots each day. Now I will schedule 8 spots each day for this customer. Now I have filled everything in general data. I move to hour points. And here you see in red, I see the area where I bought the spots for the Radio 2, that is only on area number 1. I open with a double click and I choose the rotation type. The rotation type can be rotation, and the spot will move every day on a different hour point. But they can also be fixed. Fixed is every day the same hour points. You can also have rotations for fixed and rotation with alternate days, odd days, even days, or one day even yes, one day even no, and so on. We will choose a simple rotation. Here we can exclude one or more days of the week from the scheduling. For example, this customer doesn't want to be played on Sunday. If you have some free spots, premiums, you can insert them here. For example, I have 10 premium spots on the total of the scheduling. Now we move here and we decide the hour points for the first day of scheduling. We have different ways to make it. The first is double click and I type the hour point. But it is very dangerous because you can make mistakes. The second way is to press F1 and it will show all the list of the automatic hour points allowed to regular spots. As remember that this is not a sponsorship, but it's a regular spot. The hour points for a regular spot between 7 and 8 in the evening, because you remember that we told that this customer wants to go only between 7 in the morning and 8 in the evening, is this one. So I can check and choose how many spots. You see, we told that the frequency is 8 each day. I selected 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's done. I confirm. And these will be the hour points for the first day of scheduling. If the rotation is fixed, it will be the hour points for all the scheduling. But if you choose a rotation, these are for the first day, then the other days will change. The third way to decide to choose the hour points for the first day is totally automatic. I delete them. And if you click here, you see F9, automatic hour points. Here you can find clocks and groups. What are clocks and groups? They are a specific table. If you go to identifying tables, you will see that advertising clocks are a separation, a very big separation of the whole day, of the 24 hours of each day. For example, here we divided from midnight to 2 p.m., then from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m., and then from 9 to midnight. So I can schedule, for example, one spot here in the morning, and three in the afternoon, and two in the evening. And the system will rotate respecting this separation. And this is the clocks. But with so also our point groups. Our points groups are specific groups of our point. So here you can create a specific group, for example, for a sponsorship. For example, you want to schedule a sponsorship for your morning program, and the morning program will start from 8 to 12. These are the hour points from 8 to 12 allowed for your sponsorship. We come back here. So when you press here F9, you can decide to divide your frequency of 8 each day into 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, and the system will choose them for you. Or into groups. I want, for example, 8 spots in this group, or I want 4 in this group and 4 in this. And the system will rotate and choose the hour points for you inside these groups. Now we choose to use the clocks, 4 and 4. 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. You see, the system is calculating and choosing the hour points for you. That is 8 hour points. Now, I confirm my scheduling. If I want, I can make another scheduling on another area of the same station. If you have some split area of the same station, or you can confirm and the system will calculate the rotation for next days. You see, this is the rotation of the spot for all the days of your scheduling. So you can see if the rotation is good for you or not. You can calculate the media rotation because we have more than one subject. You remember we have Coca-Cola and Coca-Cola Zero. And your scheduling is done. Now, what can you do? You can check your scheduling with F9. And if you want, you can change something. You see, these red are the premium spots. We told it to have 10 premium spots on the whole scheduling. If I want to change something on one day, for example, this one, I click on the day and press F1, and I can change something manually just for that day. I want to change this one, F1, and I move, for example, this one. I can change it. Then it's okay for me. I escape. I recalculate the media rotation because I changed something. And now I am ready to send an email with the hour points to my customer. Area hour points with media, because I have more than one subject. And you will get this printout with subject A is Coca-Cola, subject B is Coca-Cola Zero, you see AB, and here you can see that on Wednesday, November 21, you have at 7:10 in the morning the subject A. And here you have the total amount of your scheduling is 200 spots. How can you send this to the customer? Sorry, I open it again. Here you have send, email, and if you inserted the email into the client scheduling, it will send it automatically. Or if you can choose to save the report into a PDF, for example. Or you can save it into a text file, XML, Word, any format. Then you can save it into your desktop and then send it to your customer.
Great. Elisa, may I interrupt you just a second?
Yeah.
Just willing to check if everything is fine with our participants. I have no questions at the time. I think it depends, Elisa, because you are very clear and very good on what you're explaining. But I just want to tell our participants that they can still make questions. So please feel free to use the microphone or write. Okay? And I hope everything is clear. Please let us know. Sorry, Elisa. In a quarter of an hour, we will interrupt you again with Stefano Grego saying hello.
Okay. So now we have finished our scheduling. If we come back to installments, remember that we choose the installments on consumption. Okay, the system created two different installments that will become invoices with date of end of the month and the amount of the adverts scheduled for that month. Okay. Now I confirm and close. Okay. Now we move here into schedule so we can see the daily schedule. You have two ways to see the daily schedule. The first is for single area. I choose a radio and a single area, that is radio 2, area 2, oh no, sorry, area 1. I open it and you will see the list of your adverts for hour and the content. Here you have the total length of this spot, this hour point. If you want to move something, just double click on it and double click where you want to put it. If you want to insert something, just press F2, choose it from the list. It will show you the list of all the adverts that you scheduled into 1 year. So you see that we are in November and it will take a little time. In January, it will take a shorter time. You choose the spot, the advert you want to insert here and press F10 to insert here. You see. If you want to delete one spot, you click on it and then F5 and delete. There is another way to see your playlist, your daily playlist. If you have more splits, so more areas on the same radio station, you can see all areas together. And it will appear quite a little bit different because you have here the name of the area and the content for each hour point. For example, 610 in the area 1 has one spot. If we move to area 6, you will see that we have two spots, and it will have 20 seconds, then 20 seconds. It is a total of 40 seconds. Here it's the same. If you want to move an advert from an hour point to another, you double click on it and double click where you want to put it. If you want to insert something, you press F2. If you want to delete something, you press F5. Did you see that some adverts are in red? Red means the same product category on the same hour point. If you want to see some information about this advert, you select it and press F1. And here you have all the informations about the scheduling, this advert, the customer, and anything. Now I finished, I close, and then I can send it to my playout. If you have some network not connected, it will show you an advert. And now it is sending the playlist to the different radio stations. You see, some files are not found, we are missing some spots because we don't have the audio. They did not send us the audio, so we are waiting. We have the list here. We can print the list, and then when we get the audio file, we can go into the contract, open the scheduling and record the missing file, or you can go here into recordings. You open recordings, you insert the start and then the date you want to check, for example, just today, and it will show you the list of all the spots. In red, missing spots. In green, the spots already present. Here, as you see, we don't have any audio file connected, so they are all missing. If I want to record some of them, I select it, and here I have the record button. So I can open the DJ Pro recorder or insert select file if we have a video file. Now we move to invoices, and I will show how to create invoices. We start from provisional. We have provisional invoices and then definitive. Provisional is just to check if the invoices are all correct. So we want to create the invoices for the month of November. I click here, F2. I choose the automatic invoice type. Normally is if you want to create a manual invoice, but we want to create them automatically. I insert here the date of the invoice, end of this month, and I want to consider from the first day till the end date of this month, and then I press F10. It takes a long time because we have so many customers here in this database. And you will see that we have so many invoices for this database. Of course, if you have questions in the meanwhile, feel free to write on the chat. Feel free to ask.
I hear some noise coming probably from Banshee. Banshee, can you check the microphone you're having there? Because we hear some AC noise. Yes, there is. Thank you. Thank you so much. No? Still there.
No, it's getting worse. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. These are the invoices for this month, except this one that was an invoice created so many months ago. But these are the invoices of November
Sorry,
2018.
Lisa. We have a special guest. Can we interrupt for a minute or two?
Sure.
Okay. On our Axel Tech webcam, please welcome Mr. Stefano Grego. Hi, Stefano.
Hello to everybody.
We have some guys connected from several countries.
Okay.
Would you like to say hello and tell them what you're doing? Probably they know a little bit of you, I think.
I checked the list.
Okay.
I know many of those guys. So
yes.
Thank you for attending our webinar. It's we are, let's say, investing time and money on this because we guess that this is a good opportunity for us and our partner and our final customer to have a deeper understanding as regard of some products that are not so easy to adopt and to understand, especially RAMCOM. Could be really a key element in your revenue business model, and it's not only a matter of technology, it is also a matter of adopting a different workflow and a different organization in order to take the opportunity that such kind of software can give you. So, thank you, Claudio. I know that you are doing a wonderful job, and thank you to everybody.
Okay, thank you, Stefano, for coming and climbing the steps to come here, over here. Stefano is, of course, at your disposal. I think many of you already have his email, but
yes, of course.
Just tell the email again, Stefano, if you can.
Yes, my email is very simple. It's stefano.grego@axeltechnology.com. Maybe you can write it.
Okay,
because
we will write
it's a bit long.
Yes. And so if you have any commercial question, any distribution question, anything regarding this, Stefano will certainly answer to you and take care of you.
Thank you very much, of course.
Thank you, Stefano.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. And in the meantime,
thank you, Claudio.
Thank you. Elisa, you had a few minutes to rest a little bit and to breathe again.
Yeah, I did. I see that Claudius wrote something. To be honest, I didn't get much. Oh,
I haven't started using it. So Claudius has not started. Claudius, you must start it soon. It's good for revenues. It's good for organization. It's good for marketing and sales. Anything we can do to help you, please feel free to ask.
Okay. So I come back to our invoices. We see here all the invoices for the month of November 2018. They are provisional invoices. So now if I want to change something, I can open, for example, I want to change something here in the main page of the invoice, such as I want to decide the agency, the agent, for example. I want to choose the bank, the payment. I want to change the payment. This is cash in Italian. And I want to add some operating costs, for example. Okay, then I can change anything. Here down, here we have the main information about this invoice. Here down we have the amounts for this invoice. And if you open, you will find that there is a voice called adverts, radio adverts, and there is 300 of them for a price of 0.38, and there is a 40% discount and some other information such as the radio, the station, the area, and so on. Here we have another voice, and we have another 300 with a different price on another radio station. If you want to see how this will be printed, you can see here. For example, this is the invoice number 6, from 6 to 6, just to check it. You see, these are all the products inside this invoice. And there are so many pages, 3 pages, a very big invoice. And I check it, I say, yes, it's okay for me. We can change and customize that form. Okay, that's okay for me. All the invoices, the provisional invoices are okay. We can pass them into definitive. I click here on definitive, F2 to import them, provisional invoice all, and the invoice date is the end of this month. If we go down, or if we choose just 2018 invoices, we will find down the invoices for November 30. Then you can print them, or you can convert them into PDF. For example, I choose 3 of them. You see that we have a PDF export. So you can export them into PDF, then send them to your customers. Here we also have the statement of account with the list of the customers and the invoices, and you can insert a payment, undischarged, reissue, and so on. Finally, I want to show you some statistics. Here we have so many statistics on RAMCOM. Some of them are here on schedule lists, where you can check, for example, the advertising crowding for today. Select the area just for the radio number 2. I want to check the radio number 2. And I see here from every area, you see area number 1, from 6 to 7, I have 30 seconds, and there is less than 1%. Here you have from 8 to 9, very crowded, 2 spots, and about 1 minute, and it's 139% of the total amount for this hour from 8 to 9. You have some other lists very useful, such as, for example, the time available for clock, day, group, hour, period, just to check if you can sell more spots or if you don't have time available because your playlist is already full. You also have the time used, time available or time used. It's the opposite. Here you have other statistics for commercial accounting agents to calculate, for example, the commissions for your agents. We will see just a couple of these statistics because they are so many. We go into statistics commercial, and we check the commercial monthly list for this month. Yeah, sorry. 30.
Okay, in the meantime, I read also the previous message of Claudio's, and he says he has not started with RAMCOM yet. Maybe, Claudius, you can suggest to us also what kind of service, what kind of need you have. Maybe, as you seem to write, a sort of step-by-step help by TeamViewer. Is this something that would help you to start with the use of the program? Please let me know. And please, guys, let us know if you had difficulties in starting the software or with any kind of thing that didn't appear to you simple or easy to access. Thank you.
Okay, this is our statistic where you can see for this month the list of all the customers scheduled, the number of the contract, the stipulation date, the area, how many were purchased, how many were consumed during this day, the spot price, and the total amount for this month, and the typology, the agent, the nickname, and so other many important information. You can also make a filter for this list, these statistics. For example, I want to check just one client. For example, I want just to check this month for Coca-Cola. This month, Coca-Cola contract, this one, stipulation, area, purchased, consumed, spot price, and this is the total amount for this month. You see total amount here down, just to check your customers. You can also check another useful statistic is the list of commercial to be invoiced, just to check before you make it. I will check just Coca-Cola because it's easier and faster. And you see that Coca-Cola must invoice 720 euros. Other statistics are, for example, for agents. I want to check, for example, for my agent number 1 this month. And these are all the customers for agent number 1 during this month. And this is the commission for the agent number 1 for this month. Okay, this is the total commission. You see the total amount made by this agent and the total commission due to this agent for this month. You can also manage here optimizer. If you have one station with more splits, here you can manage the fillers because you have so many areas and one area will be longer than the other and the rest of the time will be filled by fillers. Here you can choose specific fillers. You will choose them from DJ Pro databases. So you have here the list of DJ Pro databases. You choose one of them, you choose what you want to be used as a filler, and you can select it. Then finally, there is the setup jingle. If you want to schedule an opening jingle, break type, a breaking jingle between one advert and the next, and a closing jingle. If you want a jingle or a little effect before your adverts. Here you will insert start and end date, start and end time, the days of the week, if you want some jingles to be played on a specific day and not on others. And you can also decide opening, break, and closing type if you have some promos. So if I have promos at the beginning of my PowerPoint, I don't want an opening jingle because I have the promos. I think that's all for me. If you have some other questions.
Not seeing any questions, Elisa. Maybe What would be the next point? Could be also the one of reporting, or are we too early for reporting?
Yes, it's too early for reporting because the certificate, you mean the certification? Okay.
Yes, in analysis and statistics as well, of course.
Yeah. Yes, we can make a certification, but we have a certification of what was really broadcasted, of what you really scheduled. You scheduled some spot, but where they really broadcasted, yes, we have the certification. This is the certification. We can get certification here because this RAMM database is not connected directly to a playout. But if you want, you have here the list. You will get the information about these spots. And if some of them were really broadcasted, they will appear like this. Now I force a certification. Yes, it's checking all of them because I forced one, but it's making the list again. So it will take a little time. And remember that you can get the certification for spots played on radio, on TV, on visual radio, on any playout system by Excel technology. With other playout system, it is not possible to get a certification because we can't get the information from the playout system. Yeah, I think no. No, I close because it will take a very long time. So I prefer to close it.
Yes. Um, do we have more questions from the audience? How do you skip a particular day after a scheduling? This is a question coming, I think, from Banji's group. Thank you. So the question again is, how do you skip a particular
Okay.
day after scheduling?
Okay. You can go here. You come back to your contract. For example, we want to skip one day on the contract and on the scheduling of Coca-Cola, the one we just inserted. I open my scheduling. I have two choices. The first is I open my scheduling. I open this one and exclude one day, like this. That is the first way. The other way is this one. I don't save. So I use the F9 button. We saw that F9 button is very useful because I open the entire scheduling. I choose the day I want to skip. I press F1 and I uncheck all the adverts. So this day will be empty and not played. You see, we skip this day. Then we can recalculate the media rotation and premiums. Other questions?
No, no more questions, Elisa. We can proceed, I think, with the journey into the
I have
software.
a question.
Yes, but the journey is finished.
Oh,
Yes, I showed you everything.
can we see some reports, maybe?
Hello, guys. I have a
Oh,
question.
Hello,
yeah.
can you hear me?
Hi.
I understand that while you are doing the
Oh,
scheduling.
There is too
we
much
don't
noise in the
understand.
microphone. I'm sorry.
No,
A lot of
your
beep.
microphone is making a big noise. Please write on the chat.
Okay, no problem.
Question yange rero yavudde ko gye twatayipinze.
Okay.
You retype the question.
Can you please make your question again? No, I didn't get. Elisa, did you hear the question?
Oh no, I didn't. Oh, okay, they're right.
Okay. How do you add
How
an
do you
hour
add an
point?
hour point under spot? It's the same. You press F9, you choose the day, you press F1, and you add one more day, one more hour point. It's done.
Simple.
Yes, very simple.
Okay. So, okay, thank you. We read a thank you message from Banji's group in Nigeria. Elisa, I would think that we can start saying a goodbye to our participants if they do not have further questions. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Okay. If you have more questions, you can put them now. Please don't forget that you can, in any case, email at any time at support@exceltechnology.com. And of course, Elisa is reachable at the support office here in Italy at Accel Technology.
Yes.
I just posted also the email of Stefano Grego if you want some commercial sales info. But we have another question, I think. Yes.
Oh,
Charles
there
from...
is a question. Yes, from Charles. When I schedule, I expect the system to assign the adverts even
within the hour.
within the hour. On the contrary, most times the adverts are all scheduled in one block and some left blank. How do I manage this? Okay, if you choose the rotation time fixed, it's you that will choose the hour point. So there's no way to fix it except you go into the daily schedule and move them manually. If you schedule them with a rotation type, here on setup advertising, we can help you or send you a specific manual to schedule this one, automatic hour points. And here you will enable this one, and you can, yes, this is in Italian, but this means search more empty hour point. So it will search the empty hour point. And if you want to manage this area, we can send you a specific manual that will explain the meaning of every point of this part. They are conflict, and here you can decide how to manage your conflict. For example, there is adjacency conflict weight. For example, you don't want to have the same spot in two hour points, one after the other. Or previous day conflict. It's I don't want the same spot 2 days at the same time. The product category conflict, the client conflict, that is the same client on the same hour point, the duration of your hour point. I don't want to go over the maximum duration for this hour point. And for every conflict, you can give a weight, 10 is very, very, very important. 1 is not important. So if it can schedule at a specific time, it can move on another hour point, but trying to respect the conflicts you prefer to be broken or not. What could cause skipping audio on RAMCOM? RAMCOM will not skip audio. DJ Pro, the playout, will skip audio. And the skipping can be caused first if you don't schedule the hour point on DigiWare if you use DigiWare, or on DJ Pro if you use DJ Pro. The other could be not present audio. You forgot to record the audio, so it will be skipped. And another case can be a corrupted audio file. And I know that in Africa, the corrupted audio files are a very big problem, because sometimes you get some audio files from your customers, but they are not good, they are corrupted, and they can cause the skip or stop the on air. So it is very, very important to convert always the files you get from your customer before you insert them into RAMCOM. Yes, you can get a manual, but not an installation manual. Why there is not an installation manual? Because installing RAMCOM is very easy. It will take just 1 minute, but it will take a long time to configure it. And we did not create an installation manual, a configuration manual, because we configure the software according to the need of the customer. So I will configure a specific RAMCOM for you and completely different for another customer. So that's why we did not make an installation and configuration manual. We prefer to configure it according to the customer. I think there are not other questions. You're welcome.
Okay. So I would like to thank everybody participating. We will follow up with DigiWare webinar on January. And I would like to thank Elisa a lot and all of you for participating into the webinar. And we'll see you soon again. Okay? Just one more question from Claudio.
Yes. Can be integrated with Pastel. No, sorry.
Okay. If you have further questions, please, it's time to do them now, or to say goodbye and we will see you again, or you can continue writing or taking contact with our support. Okay. So thank you to all. Thank you for participating. Ciao, ciao. Bye. From Bologna, Italy, to all of you.
Bye, everybody. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.